All right, so I'm really digging the way this is coming along. And we've done all these different compositions, and we'll make more. But this is enough to get me started where I can really start to get some cool stuff going on. So now let's start doing some reveals and tweaking things out. So, with the case of the house, I'm going to go in. Let's create a elliptical. Just drag around it like so. If I hold down shift, it'll constrain it. And then I can, of course, just use my arrow and move that guy around just a little bit. So why am I doing that? Well, I've made a mask around this. And with this mask, I basically can go in and animate. Hold on, let's do a feather. Yeah, you're working. All right, let's see. There it is. So what you see, and now I'm shrinking down the expansion. I'm giving it a negative, but I'm gonna feather this also so that I can basically do a little bit of a reveal. So I'm gonna do it so it's you can't see it at all. And I'm a key the expansion. Let's say let's try about here. We set you to 0. Might be a little fast, but let's see. I like it. Let's try one more time. Now, for the words, we're going to play with them. I want this to be like a little bit more exciting of like them flying out of the door or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these. I'm going to, let's say it's going to, oops, let's grab the top composition, which is this one. Let's move it down. Let's say right about there, it's going to be keyed. So we're going to key position, P, shift R for rotate, and shift S for scale. We're going to key all that good stuff. So I'm going to key all of them. Boop. And I'm going to go back here to the beginning. And what I want to do is I want to scale it down. And I want to change its position so that it looks like it's coming right from that door. Thank you. Zoom in because you want to be careful not to basically you want to put it directly on a keyframe, not next to a keyframe. So let me grab these guys. Let me move them over. Just right to the beginning. And I'm going to scale you even smaller. Whoops. And move you up even more. Now let's see. So let's say for right about here, let's take these, we'll just move them back a little bit. And right here, we're going to key these properties again. As it fades out, that's where I want it to look like it's coming right at us. So that's where we're going to scale it up large. We are going to rotate it. And we are going to move it way out here. Just a little bit further. I'm thinking that scale is still not big enough. These guys, move you over just a little. And I want to do one more thing to this one to make it really pop, or a couple of things. Let's do a turbulent displacement like we did for the other. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, son, look at that. Now I don't want necessarily like this. So let's go right about here. And where the amount is, I'm going to set you to 0 and key it. And that's on the turbulent displacement on this text. And now, as we go forward, actually, let's open. Let's pull you over even more, right about there. Okay, so as we go to here, that's where I want this totally cranked up. Let's try 75. And let's increase the level of complexity. I really want this thing to kind of go nuts. This is where you have to go in and start to play with, so it's going a little too fast. So I'm going to extend this one out, but I want it even more displaced. So that means I have to open up my turbulence again. I'm going to move this over. There. going to have to add just a little bit of extra oomph to this by keying the complexity. So let's say the complexity starts lower. And then when it gets to here, really want it. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Nice. It just totally like fizzes out. Very sweet. Now, the cool part about this is now that I have these words, I can now go in and do another treatment for another set of words. So I literally could go in right back to my project folder, grab I Ain't Afraid, and actually let's take the I Ain't Afraid right here, and I'm just going to select it and in here and hit Control D, and let's rename it. So we're going to call this one 2, and we're going to call this one Carrier Productions. And when I drag this one in, so this one we'll double click on because now it's a new composition. Here's the awesome thing. All I have to do is just rename these. So I'm just going to put the same name. So I'll double click up here. Okay, double clicked on it. I Carrier Film. Oops, not return. And now I'll do the same for this one. A tie Carrier Film. All right. Now watch what happens when we go back. Because see, there it is right there. And now I've got this template that I could just keep duplicating and changing the names. It has the animation. I could tweak it out independently. And that's all sorts of awesome. So now if I go back into my movie, this is coming way too early, so we're going to move you back. You a little bit further forward. Now this one comes in, and then we do the same thing. Maybe this one will go to the other area. So we'll move it down. Now maybe that's where it's going to end up right there. We're going to P for position, Shift S, Shift W for rotation. Or excuse me, Shift R. W is the rotate tool inside of the screen. I always do that. So it's going to wind up here. So we will key all these guys. Right about here. This is where we scale it down. Move it up. then the same for this one. We'll grab these, move them over. Freeze frame it for a second. And then rotate. Lots of trial and error, lots of testing, but you see the results. And now I could just put the effects, or if there's one has a different effect, or copy the effect from one or the other. And now I've got the beginning of my sequence of titling, and then I can switch this out with another graphic or videos, and then start putting the names of who's in there. But this is a good way to get started, and you see the benefit of creating these separate pieces.